They say history repeats itself and things of that nature, right? I think right now, currently in boxing, I think we're kind of going through or reliving a scenario that we kind of just got done with probably about a couple of years ago. Remember back when Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder was both undefeated? It was a big, big thing amongst boxing fans, American boxing fans, British boxing fans, going back and forth, about who would beat who. It was just a big thing with AJ and Wilder. That fight was boiling hot. Similar to how the Spence and Crawford fight is boiling. And things got stretched out in negotiations. Guys wanted this, guys wanted that. It was a lot of negotiations and numbers and business thrown out in the public. And one was hoping that the fight could happen, but it just did never happen. Of course, Andy Ruiz happened, right? And there's a lot of similarities in this storyline that's parallel to that one. Here you have an American. Now, of course, the differences are the obvious ones. Errol Spence is an American, so that's the difference there. Of course, then they also are welterweights. But Errol Spence Jr., in my opinion, is one of those fighters that just is very marketable. He could almost do no wrong, right? AJ is the same fighter. Very marketable, can't really do no wrong. Both guys are very traditional textbook fighters. Nothing really flashy about them. Real strong guys. ABC 1, 2, 3 fighters. But they both very marketable. And they both have had a lot of leverage over pretty much their rivals. Deontay Wilder, of course, was doing his thing in America, knocking everybody out that was standing in front of him. And Terrence Crawford essentially is doing the same thing. Just running through guys. He's got like 8 knockouts in a row now. And for whatever reason, those guys can't win. Wilder, of course, had a lot of the Americans riding with him. But the Spence and Crawford situation is more like a civil war. A lot of the boxing fans that's kind of torn between the two now were fans of both of them at one point. Actually, even before that AJ Wilder thing started, a lot of us was fans of both guys before the rivalry kicked in. There's a lot of similarities if you really think about it. At one point, the AJ fans were really trying to push off Dillian White on Wilder. Wilder got to fight White. Wilder got to fight White. Same thing as the Spence fans are doing with Bud, with Sean Porter. Fight Sean Porter. Fight Sean Porter. Fight Sean Porter. So Sean Porter is essentially Dillian White in this scenario.
Ooh, yeah!
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of similarities. Crawford is essentially getting beat in the public as far as negotiations and, having any type of leverage or anything. And Wilder was getting beat up. But see, what Wilder did was that he went out and made it to where he can kind of get the 50-50. Terrence Crawford is also trying to do this as well. He's trying to get the Pacquiao fight. So that's what Wilder went to go get the Fury fight. So he can try to make things even. So he won't get hit over the head at the negotiation table. A lot of similarities. I think went over a lot of people's head. But your boy Bushido pay attention to detail. AJ ends up fighting Andy Ruiz, right? Debut in America. First time here, he looked nervous as hell. Ends up going out there laying an egg. Looked terrible. The worst we ever seen AJ. But I'm not saying that Ruiz is Garcia. But I'm just saying, this is our first time seeing EJ in a long time. 14 months. Since his fight with Sean Porter and since his accident. Will Danny Garcia play the role of Andy Ruiz and further derail the Spence Crawford hype train? That's your boy Bushido's mind. This is how I think, right? It's pretty crazy. But if you follow boxing every day, if you're a big fan like I am, you notice that there's a lot of similarities with this Spence, Crawford AJ Wilder's story. It's a lot of similarities. Wilder and Bud are both darker guys. Spence and Errol Spence are both like the same brownish caramel-like complexion. It's the same. It's a lot of the similarities, man. You know what I'm saying? AJ ended up losing to a Latino guy. Errol Spence Jr. might lose to a Latino guy. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of similarities, man. We all seen this story before. And this leads me to believe that, and I'm not trying to jinx nothing or nothing, because I'm really good at that. I'm really good at jinxing shit. But I'm not saying that Danny Garcia is Andy Ruiz, but I'm just saying, you know, I don't think the Spence Crawford fight is going to happen at this point. It seems like it's further and further away from a reality. It's just I just don't think it's going to happen. You know, at this point, it's just that when boxing, when a fight gets stretched out this long, both guys aren't necessarily superstars or nothing like that for them to really, you know, it's just a lot of things that leads me to believe that this fight is not going to happen and never was going to happen. Too much negotiation in the public. You know what I'm saying? Too many egos in a way. Nobody's willing to really compromise for the better of the sport to make something happen. Crawford's not bending because he felt that he done a lot more than any of those guys. And Errol Spence saying, look, man, I'm the man they got at the top right now as far as the welterweights. So I'm the A side and I got more better pay-per-view numbers than you. So that's the same shit Wilder was going through. AJ was getting pay-per-views over there in the UK, and you know they was trying to strong arm him in negotiations to get a fight, and it's a lot of similarities. You know, you got the Dillian White. Oh, Wilder got to fight Dillian White. Oh, well, Bud got to fight Sean Porter. It's the same thing, man. But tell me what you guys think. That's just the crazy man of Bushido. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.